What's up, guys? Dan here, and I'm joined by my good friend Noah Cull with CPR Investments, and he's going to be talking today. He has now transitioned his business, which he'll go into from an investing business to now he is running basically a business that partners with you and helps you generate leads for your business, whether you're flipping or wholesaling or whatever it may be, providing a great service. And we're going to talk about how he got into that and how he can help guys like myself and you that are flipping and wholesaling and just trying to get great deals to further their investment business. So without further ado, Noah Cull. So how you doing, my friend?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, glad we could connect on here. So
no, it's really cool. But yeah, man, tell me about yourself. How'd you get into real estate investing? What's your story? You're a young guy.
For sure. Yeah, I'm 24. So
awesome.
I started out as a realtor at Keller Williams. So we're good friends with a realtor that runs a big agency through Keller Williams out in Denver, Colorado. And that friend's name is Dave. If you know the First group, shout out to y'all. Thanks for the training and such. I learned a lot with them, and I basically was a branched agent towards Kansas City, so the Kansas City market, and they just kind of got me going in that sense. I honestly didn't like it at first. They do a lot of numbers, so I mean they were top 3 group in Kansas City last 4.5 years at least, going on 5 years I believe, and so they do, a lot of their agents do 40-50 deals a year, right? As a realtor, that's a lot, and so branched out into Kansas City, got trained really well by them, and I didn't like it though, like the whole agency aspect, and so I was like, okay, I want to try something else. So I went to the investment side of things because I saw the returns really good. So I went to New Western Acquisition, or New Western, I think it's just New Western, yeah. And for a few months, got trained in like understanding what wholesaling was a little bit. Honestly, didn't really understand it a whole lot. But so I hopped out of it and then just actually went into wholesale. So I did some deals with them and it's successful. I was, doing well kind of thing. Could have stayed there for a while.
Let me interject real quick. I want to ask, with New Western, I mean, I see them a lot, but I don't really know, the ins and outs of how their business model works and what it's like being, an agent for them, a dispo or acquisitions agent. Tell me what side of it was like how do they, because I would say they're kind of like what I think a lot of people would aspire to be in terms of a wholesaling company. They've really systemized the business and whether their deals may be marked up a little bit, like they've got a pretty good system going where they are, moving a lot of product. So, how does their business operate, and from your, brief time with them and your perspective?
Yeah, so I learned a lot from them. So their business model, they double close, of course, right? So there's not always a lot of room for a fee in there, right? Closing costs are only so much, but they, on small deals, it adds up, right? So that kind of sucks. So the assignment, if you're doing smaller deals, you save a lot of money just assigning a deal, right? So there's more money that way for sure. So that's a better business. When I was there, they're doing 20 to 30 deals a month. And that's what my company's doing now. But with, so it was a lot of deals, I'd say. You get, as a display agent, I was making 10 to 24% of the assignment fees. Their average assignment fee when I was there was $14,000. So but you have to work your way up to 24%. So if you're not doing at least 3 deals a month, you really can't eat off of that. And so that can really suck, right? So by the time I left, I was on track to do like 5 to 6 deals a month with them. So decent, higher up there per se in a way. I wouldn't say higher up, but just like good deal flow. But I learned a lot from them. They acquire properties well. They have really good relationships. They get handed really good deals throughout the year. But they do mark their prices really high. And I think they kind of cut corners, sometimes on some deals where the numbers don't really make sense. And they try to sell that, which is fine. People buy that, and it does make sense for some people, right? As a rental or something, if you can't flip something and profit, right? It's kind of where my mind's going. But it's a cool business model. It is very scalable, but it's a lot of turn and burn. They go through. I get a new friend request from a new New Western agent every week or two on Facebook, right? And I'm always like, connecting with them because they want to get into the investment game. So they're seeing stuff, they're growing, they're learning, let's network. But, you see so many of those people just going in there and hopping out a few weeks later. And I'll talk to them, and a lot of those people are staying for just a few weeks, which is fine. It's a commitment, but That's tough, I would say. But I do like their business model. They get a lot of deal flow. They do have some good deals, I would say. Some I would buy personally throughout the year. But yeah, it's interesting. I learned a lot, honestly. So
where'd you go from there? After you left New Western, where did you go after that and then beyond?
Yeah, so I actually transferred my license to United Real Estate, Kansas City, where it is now. I'm licensed in Kansas and Missouri as a realtor. I only refer people, but then I had a bunch of different buyer clients. I was working with like out-of-state investors for Airbnbs and all that kind of stuff, and they would flip to Airbnb basically. So they were looking at higher end properties and some other stuff, which was really fun. But it was just a lot of like chasing the tail and submitting a lot of offers that you don't even know would get accepted. So I was like, okay, I need to acquire these deals and then bring a buyer in, right? And so I decided to do that. And I was sourcing some deals myself. I was JVing. I started working with KC Pro Home Buyers. Now they're Home Guru. This is when they were wholesaling. And we did a bunch of deals. I think like month 2, month 3 with them, I made them over $100,000, which was pretty cool. And so that was like awesome. And we just did a lot of deals where they were at. They're a different company. They had a different direction kind of things. They, wholesaling wasn't very sustainable for their business model, just because they do a lot of seller finance deals, which is great. They're doing really well. Partnered up with them a lot, but in that process, I partnered up with 2 guys from Serbia that I met on Facebook. And one of them does marketing using paid Facebook ads. And we realized that the initial investment is small sometimes, depending on how much you invest, and the return is really good. A lot of our investors are getting a 10 or 11x return, which is really cool with just say $5,000 to $10,000 invested. So we partnered up, got a lot of clients basically, formed a small company, threw some closers in that week. And, now we're doing 20 to 30 deals a month basically. So, and I'm actually in Europe right now with them. Just traveling and connecting and making some things happen. So
that's awesome, man. So how did you, what was the transition from, obviously you know how to close, you know how to do deals from your experience, transitioning to, forming this, sounds like a kind of full service acquisition and then a closer, at least maybe on the front couple stages of the lead flow. What was, how were you able to replicate yourself into that model? Because I think that's where, a lot of people get hung up, is that they're, solopreneurs or they're operators, they know how to do it, but to go from, doing the transactions yourself and to trusting somebody like yourself to actually, putting thousands of dollars in your hand to go out and make business and convert that business is definitely a leap of faith. I know that agencies can be great and stuff, but like how have you guys made that work and had results there?
I think we have 6 clients right now. We prefer to work with only a few clients. Like I'd rather work with just one client that's buying everything everywhere than 100 clients buying a few things everywhere, right? So we work with 6 clients that are scaling. Like month 2 with our guy in Michigan, we're now running ads in the entire state, right? So he wants to buy, as many good properties as he can, right? And so, it comes down to like scalability and handling money. So, we had to show a proof of concept, right? So we worked with a few different people, and we had a guy in Kansas City, right? So he put in, I think he was just putting in $3,000 a month. And we would just put that straight to ads. And we set a deal. We're like, hey, if we bring you a deal, you buy it and flip it. At closing, you have to pay us $5,000 plus 1% of the property value. So if he buys a $200,000 property, he's paying $7,000 for the property. We did a wholesaling fee with that one. You could charge like a marketing fee, whatever it is, right? So we did a wholesaling fee. If we JV'd on those, we would do like a 50-50 split. Like if he's wholesaling it, either if he's assigning it or double closing. And so we got him 2 deals in Overland Park with his ad budget, right? $3,000, and that was actually in the same month. Typically, $2,000 to $3,000 a month gets you 1 to 2 deals a month. That's why we asked for $5,000 a month, so you have lots of deal flow coming in. He got these 2 deals in Overland Park. One deal we got at $200,000. He wholesaled it at $275 in 3 weeks, right? And that was 3 weeks from talking to the seller. So like I showed up, this ad came in, I showed up, and in 20 minutes, and we got the deal done. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
And they liked working with us. They had another offer in on the house at $230,000. Like, hey, honestly, I don't really know these other guys. They didn't really know me either. I was like literally first time meeting them. But they're like, we just trust you. I feel like safe around you, is what the owner said. and we're just going to go with your offer. I was like, cool. So we closed it, and that's cool. And then the next deal for Overland Park, we had an issue with the seller. Something came up, like there was like a personal issue or something, and they waited to sell. And then we contracted it a month later, closed 3 weeks later, and I was a $30,000 wholesale. So this guy invests $3,000, pulls out $105,000, right? So proof of concept, bang. And then this guy's like, all right, let's go into Omaha. And so, these guys are investing a few $1,000s a month in Omaha up there, and it's a smaller market, so like you don't have to really throw in $10,000 to get a bunch of leads. And so they're doing just a few $1,000s, and we just got them a flip that they'll net about 70 grand on. We were just talking to one of my meetings before this was about with them, and yeah, it'll be like a $70,000 flip for them. So that's awesome. And so cool expansion in that sense. So these guys took a risk. Our marketer's been doing this for 6 years. He's now a good friend of mine, and we're just scaling our company. So we just take this proof of concept to other people. We even hop on the phone with those guys, and they share their testimony, and they're like, dude, this works, and you guys need to try these guys out. And so we do that, and these guys make a lot of money from flipping, wholesaling. And then of course, I think actually the guys up in Omaha might be building a house as well, which is cool, on a good lot. I think they're still working through that, but there's that. And then, you can rent a house and Airbnbs and all that, man. I mean, obviously there's so many exit strategies. So,
yeah, man. So how does your business structure look? Are you partnered with these guys, or are you are they working for you, working for them, or like what is what's that model look like?
Yeah, it's a partnership. So basically, like I said, they send the ad budget, and then nobody makes money until a deal is closed. So we both work for it, right? So it's a working relationship. And our ad guy, our marketer guy, his name's Marco, ironically, really rad guy. He'll just create a bunch of ads, post them on Facebook, and then people will, it's hot leads basically. We won't give you the details kind of thing. There's a lot to it, but people literally just call us, message us, and they're like, dude, I want to sell my house, blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of people, and some people mess with you. Some people are, literally ready to go same day. So yeah, I mean, the nice thing with that is the average close per lead is about, it closes within 3.5 weeks. So like if you're cold calling, the average closing is 60 days, right? From the first time you talk to them. So with us, it's over half that, right? Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're running cold texting too, and it can take a long time, right? So we cut that in half, a little bit less than half historically. So that's freaking awesome. And the nice thing is you're not spending as much money, like it's $2,000 to $3,000 per lead, sometimes a little bit. Sometimes you get 2 leads for that you're closing again, not just leads, but actual closings. And so with that, I mean, like you're saving so much money. I mean, like the average pay-per-click closing is $4,000 to $5,000 each deal, right? So like we literally cut that in half, which is freaking awesome. So that's why we're scalable. That's why we're scaling across the US. And so it's a working partnership, right? Like we're talking about different stuff. We're talking about traveling with different people. Like I was talking to 2 guys, and I was like, hey man, if we close all this, I'll just take us to Hawaii. And they're like, cool. And so, it's just fun stuff, right? Like I get to meet these guys in Belgrade, Serbia that I'm working with, and we'll probably open up an office here soon. So it's just fun stuff, and so we're helping out a lot of people. We actually just brought on a VA from Ghana, Africa, and we're hoping to just scale what she's doing, her skill sets, and sharpen her real estate experience with us, and help her get her going to what she wants to do in our company and such. So lots of opportunities in that sense. And so yeah, our investors are really just friends, and they trust us with handling their money because we're getting them good returns. And yeah, it's a good relationship.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it seems really innovative with really, I mean, obviously the investor has to risk the ad spend for you, but like you're getting paid on the back end only when both of you win, right? So definitely, as opposed to a lot of agencies, they want like a flat monthly fee up front or something. So there's really no real incentive for them to perform except for just, retaining you as a client. But with your model, you're really, making sure that your interests are both aligned by going, not only, getting them those leads, but helping them convert those leads. So that way you all can get paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's really cool, man. So, where do you see the, with your personal goals, man? I mean, are you investing in real estate? Like, where do you see the business going? And, obviously you're traveling the world. I saw your post, you bought a one-way ticket to Europe. So you're looking to, I think it's pretty cool. You're living in your virtual life or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. virtual wholesaling,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. Yeah, just hopping around. Yeah, personal goals. So yeah, I am traveling a lot. So like, this week I'm in Belgrade, and then Monday I'm in Israel for like the week with a buddy of mine. One of my college roommates, or I went to college with him years ago. He's a good friend. And then the week after, I think we're going to Hungary as well to go to Budapest. And then, I don't know, I have friends in Greece and Italy, so we're probably going to go there. And then some other countries, like some different parts in Asia, like Bali, Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore. So right now it's a lot of travel, to be honest. I'm actually, I don't know when I'll look, but there's some apartments in Belgrade that are on the Danube River, and they're new. And the rent is really high, and the buy price is, it's luxury apartments, but the buy price is lower than it will be in a few years. And so I'm thinking about potentially buying a few of those to rent out once they're done in a few years. And so that'll be kind of interesting. So we're looking at different stuff. I mean, our money, it's going towards travel, of course. I'm actually growing a travel YouTube channel. So that's an investment right there. And then we're not buying any properties right now. We're looking at like a lot of creative deals and all that kind of stuff, but we're not really looking at holding anything. So at the moment, we just don't really need to. We're trying to build up we're building up passive income with our current clientele because we can just run them ads, and then we basically automate things. So I don't know, it's better than owning some properties right now, return wise and time wise. So that's kind of, for us, that just makes more sense. So that's what we're doing to investments. And then, so I think you had another question there, but I can't remember it.
Well, you kind of answered a lot of them, just, how you see your business going and what you're focusing on. But yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, just focus on building your business up, and then, maybe buy some investments later on after you've gotten a big old pile of money, I guess.
Yeah, I want to buy in cash, like actually in cash. I don't really want to go their leverage route. Obviously it works for some people, but I just don't want to risk the debt or bankruptcy kind of thing. So just personally. What,
just out of curiosity, because what has you interested in buying, apartments or apartment building in Serbia rather than, back in the US? Like, was there just like better returns or what's the attraction there rather to your hometown, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the attraction is that it's new. So I can buy a studio apartment here that'll finish in 6 months for $105,000, or actually the euro went down. I don't know if you knew the currency exchange, but the euro to USD, it went down a lot, like historically a lot. And so I can buy a studio apartment here that's on the water, so just really nice, luxurious, for $100,000, and it'll rent or it'll Airbnb at least $2,000 a month, conservatively. A lot of the numbers right now are like close to $3,000 a month, so that's almost like a 3% cap. I mean, obviously there's taxes and other fees, so that's over a 2% cap. So that makes sense to me. If I'm renting it out, you're at least $1,500 rent, probably a little bit more, like $1,700. So according to the other ones, the other studios that are built. So honestly, it's just a higher return and it's new. So that just makes the most sense. But it is a little iffy because it's another country, so I have to be careful with the tax, making sure that the property management doesn't screw me.
Yeah. How is it as an out of country investor? Can you just buy stuff there, or they don't care, or what's the deal,
Yeah, so I know with like personal goods and stuff, you can just buy stuff, and then when you leave the country, so it's a 20% sales tax here, which is really high. But when you at the airport, so before I go to Israel, I'll show them all of my receipts in the airport, and they'll give me all of my 20% back on everything I bought. Which is pretty cool. So like I think I maybe spent, I don't know how much I spent, but it might be a few $100s. And so that's kind of cool. So how that works with a real estate, it's, still 20%. So if I'm buying from like out of country,
even on the property, there's 20% sales tax?
Yeah. And so, which is obviously really high. And so I believe I can get rid of that just by being an out-of-state investor. So, because 20% really doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah.
No, that's crazy compared to, US. It's like, there's zero tax for exchanging a property.
Yeah. But I mean, since I'm out of state, I should be able to just not have to pay that tax, which is nice. So overall, it's a better return, right? Over 2% cap if I Airbnb it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I could pick up a few of those, and then that's my passive income for the year, and then kind of just go from there. So
cool. Well, where can people reach out to you to work with you or find out more about your services?
Yeah, man. So Facebook is honestly like really good. I run 12 groups on there. We have like our CPR Investments networking group is really good. Those are like our tips and all that kind of stuff. It goes private in a few days. I just created that for basically people that actually want to invest. And then I have my Kansas City off-market investment properties group. I think it's just KC Investment Properties, and that's a good way to connect locally. And then I have a new closers group. I'm actually starting a new business with a friend, and we're just going to close some deals virtually, and portfolio deals and commercial deals. We have a new software that can source a lot of deals really quickly at the touch of a button with a lot of automations. And so I'll just get phone calls like all day and answer, and then sign contracts. Facebook is great. Find one of my groups. Find me on Facebook, Noah Cull, and we'll get talking. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, well, I'll put his link to his Facebook in the description, and just send him a Facebook message, and connect, and see if it makes sense for you guys. So
yeah, man, I appreciate that. We always give a referral fee, man. So I'll be hitting you up.
Oh boy. There we go. Cool. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on. And yeah,
dude. Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, all right. Well, I'll catch up with you on the other ways, so I can get this recording stopped. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead and check out Noah down in the description below this video, guys. If you like this, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and for more interviews, more real estate, wholesaling, flipping related content, guys. With that, I'm Dan Cohan, and I will see you in the next chapter.